Okay, I'm going to pass this over to Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries Executive Director, Valerie Taylor.
Thank you, Robin. Hello, everybody, and welcome again. Of course, my name is Valerie Taylor, and I'm the Executive Director for the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries. I am joined today by my good friend and colleague, Jessica Harris, who is our GFAS Program Director, Farmed Animals. We are joining from afar today in Washington, D.C. at the Animals and Vegan Advocacy Conference. So I certainly appreciate every one of you who is able to take time out of your day and your busy schedule to join as well. We are all here to watch, of course, this very special virtual presentation of our annual GFAS Carole Noon and Outstanding Sanctuary Awards. And Robin will go to the Super. Well, I just want to, before we jump right into the awards, I just want to tell you a little bit about our GFAS Awards Committee. The Awards Committee is comprised of past Carole Noon Award recipients and also members of our GFAS Board of Directors, whom together review all the nominations and make a recommendation. The full GFAS Board of Directors then makes the final award recipient selections. In 2022, the committee was comprised of Sue Leary, who was our committee chair, Dr. Alan Kornberg, Bill Nimmo, and of course, our past award recipients. I just want to thank everybody on the award committee for their time. I know it is never easy. We always receive well over 200 nominations for these awards, all of who are very deserving organizations and individuals. So I can say with confidence that this committee has a very tough job. So just again, thank you all for participating in this year's awards. Getting right to it. So the GFAS Carole Noon Award is given annually to an individual who embodies and puts into practice the GFAS philosophy of vision, dedication, and excellence in animal care at sanctuaries. The award was created back in 2009 to honor outstanding contributions to the animal sanctuary field, to memorialize Carole Noon, who was a courageous and innovative sanctuary pioneer and champion of chimpanzees. This year, for our 2022 award, I'd like to introduce our GFAS Board Vice President, Dr. Kim Haddad. Kim, of course, is not only a longtime board and committee member at GFAS, but she is also one of our founders. When she's not busy helping sanctuaries help animals here at GFAS, she's also helping run 2 veterinary hospitals, seeing patients, working as an expert witness for animal cruelty and neglect cases, and finishing a master's in animal welfare science. Busy lady. So we are very grateful for Kim's time and expertise and are so glad to have Kim joining us today for this special presentation. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Haddad.
Great, thank you, Valerie. And it is such an honor to be able to present the Carole Noon Award this year to the fabulous Lynn Cuny. And it's been a long time, Lynn, since I first met you and first saw your facility and the tremendous work you've done. And it's just remarkable that 45 years later, you're still saving thousands and thousands of animals. And it's, again, truly an honor to be able to present you with this award. So a little background on Lynn, for those of you who don't know how fabulous she is, but for over 45 years, she's dedicated her professional and personal life to helping wildlife and domestic animals in need of safe and humane rehabilitation and sanctuary. And during that time, she's been a consistent advocate for the humane and respectful care of animals, whether that's a little tiny squirrel, pigeon, or a bear. Lynn shows the same compassion and respect for each individual animal that she cares for. She was one of the original founders of the Association of Sanctuaries, or TAUS, and she worked very hard for a number of years and continues to work hard to encourage and assist sanctuaries to improve their direct care of animals. She has served as a leader and a mentor to so many that are engaged and work in this area of taking care of animals and providing sanctuary for animals. She's also conducted several visits to many sanctuaries, and again, has served as a mentor in leadership in this space for many, many decades. Lynn actually worked with Dr. Carole Noon when she finally got possession of the Colston Foundation chimps in 2002, and also helped facilitate the transfer of several rhesus macaques who were suffering from extreme stress from their research facility. She has taken what was a relatively small sanctuary on 21 acres in 1991 to now a well-established, well-funded operation, which serves over 10,000 wild rehabilitation patients annually and cares for over 560 sanctuary residents, and now encompasses 212 acres. Tremendous accomplishment. Since her humble beginnings, Lynn has insisted that wildlife rescue and rehabilitation operate a 24-hour emergency hotline for members of the public who encountered injured or orphaned wildlife, or who seek help in resolving human-wildlife conflicts. And she frequently speaks on behalf of wildlife and farmed animals, and is a local media star. She's also received several awards, including the Today's Woman Award from the San Antonio Light, the Headliners Award from the Association of Women in Communication, and the Outstanding Woman of the Year Award from the San Antonio Express News. Again, quite the celebrity. She's also the author of Through Animals' Eyes, True Stories from a Wildlife Sanctuary, which was published in 1999, and the sequel, Through Animals' Eyes Again, Stories of Wildlife Rescue, published in 2006. And I'm sure I speak for many of us that we're all eagerly awaiting the third book. Hopefully that's forthcoming. Lynn is the founder and president of Wildlife Rescue and Rehabilitation, which was accredited by GFAS in 2009 and is located in Texas in the United States. Wildlife Rescue and Rehabilitation was founded in 1977 and rescues orphaned, injured, and displaced wildlife, returning the majority of those animals back to their wild habitats. They also provide permanent care in some of the most amazing large and natural enclosures that I have seen for both farmed and non-releasable wildlife. And I do remember on my visit there that one thing that Lynn said that was very refreshing was that they design their enclosures so that hopefully we'll never actually see the animals in there. And it was very true, just very naturalistic, providing animals with as close to their natural habitat as possible, and truly just remarkable facility. Many of these animals that receive lifelong care at Wildlife Rescue and Rehabilitation have come from either the pet trade, from substandard roadside zoos, or were used in research, and include a wide variety of animals such as black bears, primates, mountain lions, other mammals, and numerous species of birds. In addition, Wildlife Rescue and Rehabilitation offers assistance on a limited basis to homeless companion animals and feral cats, and provides advice and assistance for dealing with human-wildlife conflicts in a non-lethal manner. Wildlife Rescue and Rehabilitation staff work to educate the public about more appropriate and respectful relations with nature and wildlife. And whether through training, education, advocacy, or direct animal care, Wildlife Rescue and Rehabilitation fulfills its commitment to wildlife protection and ethical, sustainable relations between humans and the natural world. And Lynn has created one of the most well-respected organizations providing and doing this kind of work. And Lynn, we're so in awe of everything that you have done and inspired by your hard work and dedication over the years. And I'm very pleased to be able to present you with the 2002 GFAS Carole Noon Award.
Well, thank you very much, Kim, and for all your kind words. A couple of things that you said made me think of a few other things, as is always what happens when we're talking about this movement of ours. I think it's really important, and many people have been asking me about this over the past few years, simply because of the fact that wildlife rescue is so old. I'm not, but the organization is. When I started the organization, it was quite literally in my backyard. That was all I had at the time. And that was you start with what you have, do the best you can. But one thing I think that we all have to remember, and somebody said the word courageous more than once already this morning in defining and identifying Carole. And that was exactly what she was. And when people ask me, again, as they have recently, since the organization has reached, you know, a bit of a landmark in its age, what do I see and hope for as the future for the sanctuary movement itself? My answer to that, and I'll be very candid, there's no point in being anything else, is that I'm actually very worried about it. And I'm not worried about it because of the obvious things we all worry about, which is where do we all get the money to keep doing what we're doing? And will the animals ever stop coming to us? Which they will not, of course, because the species that we are all a part of is absolutely despicably, horribly beyond saving. Humans are simply never going to wake up to how bad we are and how good we could be if we simply really wanted to, because there's too many of us who don't want to. So as a species, we're quite the failure. And because of that, of course, sanctuaries will be needed forever. But one thing that has to happen in the sanctuary movement, that has to happen every day in every one of our lives, is we have got to be risk takers. If we are not risk takers, if we are not able every single day to put aside our own fears and our own worries about what if this happens to an animal, and if I try to introduce these animals or give them a larger area, what if this happens to them? Or how about if they get hurt and I don't see them because the area is so large they're living in? And I've actually had people say this to me: you can't put them in anything too large because they might get hurt and you won't know it. And how can you help them? And I see this more and more, and I hear this more and more and more, that we let our own concerns filter in and overflow into, in a very bad way, the lives of the animals that we have dedicated ourselves to helping. And I had this very talk with my own staff recently, and we'll have it, I'm sure, many, many more times. One of the things that I believe firmly in doing this work is that we simply do not matter that much. Our feelings do not matter that much. Our feelings cannot matter that much, to the point that they overshadow what is best for these animals who are in our care, because the animals who are in our care are there. They're in sanctuary because somebody has already done something pretty horrible to them and are given up on them, or God only knows how many other reasons. We have to be different in our approach. We have to be different in how we see the work that we do. We have to be different in how we view the very animals that we say we care so much about. And of course, we do care about them, but we have to care about them so much so that our own concerns about our worries, our fears, our what ifs on their behalf are simply put aside. We seem to forget that these are, in the case of the wild animals, they're wild animals. And yes, a great many of them have never been in that wonderful wild, but they are still wild animals. That is who they are in their heart and soul. If we try to make their lives safe, if we try to make their lives anything that would mimic something like a zoo or a theme park, God help them, what are we doing that is really true to the term sanctuary? What we're doing is we're turning our back on that. As far as I'm concerned, and for me, the reason that I started doing this was because I saw so many times where people would say, oh, I want to help this animal. This animal's in trouble. I want to help him. Or usually it's I want to help it, but we'll ignore that for the moment. I want to help him. Okay, great. You want to help him. So what does that mean? Does that mean you want to feel better after doing something that may or may not be good for him or her? And how many times does that come up? How many times are we faced with, okay, I really want to do this for this animal. I want to give them this kind of a life now that they have to be in captivity. But I want to be sure, fill in the blanks. I want to be sure they're safe, they're this, they're that, there's something else. How many of those worries actually exist in the hearts and minds of those animals? I bet none. I bet not a one. To me, our responsibility, our moral responsibility, and it goes way beyond job, our moral responsibility to these animals is to give them as much of what we can that has been stripped from their lives because of what our species has done to them, to give them back as much of that as possible. They don't need names tagged onto them. They don't need a safe place to live that's safe because we feel good about it, as opposed to Safe meaning, yes, they're contained. They can't get out and have somebody shoot them. But it has to be interesting. And if it's going to be interesting, if it's going to be a part of nature, and if they're going to live in something that mimics nature, then it will come with risks. But it comes with risks to which they are all naturally born. And I suspect want. There's not one of us who would sit in our house every day and say, I'm not going to get outside because something might happen to me. I'm not going to go on that plane trip. I'm not going to take that drive. I'm not going to do whatever the 50 million things it is that we all do every year because something might happen to me. How often do we say that? Rarely. And yet, how often do I hear when I see a sanctuary where an animal is somewhere small and safe, oh, well, I know it's kind of small, but he's really safe in there. I don't think they're asking us to keep them safe. I don't think they're asking us to do anything, frankly. But I think we have to remember on their behalf, and even when they are domesticated animals, for all of us who do farmed animal sanctuary as well, they are who they are in their hearts and souls and minds and beings. They are who they are. They are not who we are. They don't need us. They don't want us. But they have to have us because of what the world has done to them. So for God's sake, let's please be sure that we're looking out for them on their terms, not on our terms. Thank you very much for this award. I was a good friend of Carole's. She and I had many long talks and great times. And just a quick anecdote, when she came to being able to rescue the chimps from that horrible place in Mexico, she called me one night and said, listen, there's 67, I think it is, 67 macaques in there. You want them? And I said, sure, Carole. Where the hell am I going to get the money? And suddenly, there's a foundation out there touting how they're rescuing these macaques. We were rescuing the macaques. So I called the foundation and said, I don't think you're rescuing them, but I know we are, so how about some money? And I'll be happy to say that they came up with the funds that enabled us to build a 6.5-acre compound for those 67 macaques. Some of them still are alive, which is pretty remarkable. Thank you for the award. I do greatly appreciate it. I think that the work that we all do is critically important. I think, and I hope, and I really hope we can keep our own egos and needs and wants and fears out of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn, and thank you, Dr. Haddad, for presenting that award. And Lynn, that's exactly the courageous spirit and the whole emphasis behind the Dr. Carole Noon Award. And I love that. Of course, you impart that into your own work every day, but also that you pass that on to everybody else who is involved in sanctuary and rescue care. There's hardly anybody, I think, out there who works in rescue and rehabilitation of wildlife who certainly hasn't been taught or impacted by you in some way. And I know that is so appreciated and so wide-reaching. So it's a lovely impact to have on the sanctuary world. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, our next, moving on behalf of the GFAS Award Committee and Board of Directors, we would next like to present the annual Outstanding Sanctuary Awards, which recognize excellence in humane and responsible animal care, professionalism and ethics, organizational sustainability, public engagement, and contributions to and leadership within the sanctuary field. GFAS accredited and verified organizations of varying missions are eligible for these awards, including sanctuaries which provide lifetime care for animals, transition and rescue centers which temporarily care for animals with the goal of placing them in adoptive homes, and rehabilitation centers which temporarily care for wildlife so that they can be returned back to their native environments. Recipients will be honored in these 4 categories. So we have Equine Sanctuary, Farmed Animal Sanctuary, Wildlife, and International. Up first will be our Equine Sanctuary Award, and I would like to introduce to you Dr. Carole Tropy, who is our GFAS Program Director, Equine. If you've been with GFAS for any length of time, I'm sure you have worked with or met or chatted with at some point Dr. Tropy. She joined our GFAS Equine team in 2011. Horsewoman extraordinaire. She also has many years of helping and organizing equine rescue organizations herself. Daryl, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Thank you, Valerie. Founded in 2005, GFAS accredited Gentle Giants Draft Horse Rescue under the leadership of Christine Haydick is truly a sanctuary and adoption center of excellence. Draft and draft cross horses are some of our most vulnerable equines. Their large size, heavy musculature, and wonderful docile temperaments have made them indispensable working animals for many generations. But when they age or can no longer do their jobs, they're at high risk for neglect, abuse, and entering the slaughter pipeline. Christine and her team have helped over 1,500 equines. They house 150 or probably more now horses of these gentle giant horses at a time on their 300 plus beautiful acres in Maryland. Their team of skilled animal care technicians alongside their veterinarian provide individualized comprehensive assessments and care plans to maximize each horse's mental and physical potential. Draft horses are also susceptible to a painful hoof condition called canker, which is poorly understood and often mistreated. One of our nominees explained how Christine and her team at Gentle Giants have made a significant impact on this disease by disseminating information on cutting-edge treatments for late-stage progressive canker. They've hosted free clinics for farriers, they've documented case studies for veterinary publications, and their veterinarian offers remote consultations to other veterinarians, all in the hope of helping horses recover from this disease that was once a death sentence for them. Advocacy and educational outreach are high priorities for Gentle Giants team. Thousands of people annually receive their messaging regarding the inhumane practice of horse slaughter. In a recent campaign, I think a couple of years ago, thousands of people received their messaging regarding the inhumane practice of horse slaughter. Gentle Giants reached over 2 million individual Americans to make them aware of the fate of unwanted horses in the United States. There were close to 60,000 people that became members of Gentle Giants, and they returned 118,000 signed petitions to the Speaker of the House to stop the export of horses for slaughter. Additionally, Gentle Giants has been a founding member and active participant in the Maryland Association of Rescues and Equine Sanctuaries, known by the acronym MARES. MARES influenced the creation of a state law that now requires licensing for all equine organizations that use the term rescue or sanctuary in their farm or business name. I would like to conclude with a statement Christine has shared on her website. There are approximately 9 million equines in the United States, of which current numbers show that annually 1% end up being transported for inhumane slaughter. Just 1%, and the numbers are decreasing, thankfully. But this is a manageable number that we in our society should be able to solve. As Christine had said on her website, if breeders would decrease their numbers by 1%, if 1% of owners provided more responsible care for their animals, if 1% of people humanely euthanized their equines when their time was right, rather than sending them to auction, then we could eliminate this wrong. Because as Christine has said, and we all absolutely agree, every single horse matters. Congratulations to a truly outstanding equine sanctuary, Gentle Giants Draft Horse Rescue.
Thank you, everyone. I certainly appreciate the honor. Being a member of GFAS has been very integral to the growth and success of Gentle Giants. As we've grown from when we met GFAS way back in 2011 and were relatively small beans, as we've grown and expanded and been able to reach more people and make a greater impact, I feel that we do owe a lot of that success to GFAS and the greater equine welfare and animal welfare community as a whole. But we certainly do appreciate the recognition. It's been lovely. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine, and thank you, Daryl. As a horse person myself, this is definitely an area that is near and dear to my heart. So I certainly appreciate all that you do and have done for these wonderful animals. And I know that Gentle Giants will continue to do well into the future. So thank you. Next, we are going to move on to the 2022 Outstanding Farmed Animal Sanctuary Awards. So I would like to introduce you to Jessica Harris, who is our GFAS Farmed Animal Program Director. GFAS, I think, first joined Jessica joined GFAS in 2019, I believe, as a volunteer, and came on staff in early 2021 in our farmed animal program. But far beyond that, she's certainly a lifelong animal advocate who has many years of experience in the animal welfare advocacy and veterinary fields, and certainly has a heart for the work of sanctuaries and the animals in need that they care for. So I will turn it over to Jess for the presentation of this award.
Hi, everyone. As Valerie said, I'm Jess, Farm Animal Program Director at GFAS. I look forward to this day all year when I have the distinct honor of being amongst some of the most good-hearted individuals helping animals worldwide. And although we're the ones presenting these awards, it is all of you who inspire us, who give us hope, who remind us what's possible for animals if we keep at it. If we do our work well with high standards and a good heart. And because farmed animals hold a special place in my heart, it is my pleasure to present Good Heart Farm Animal Sanctuary with the 2022 Outstanding Farm Sanctuary Award. I have had the pleasure of working with Good Heart for several years now. I can tell you they live up to their name. They are providing over 300 rescued farm animals with high-level care emblematic of true sanctuaries. The animals are provided the natural space and the freedom to enjoy it, so rarely offered to their kind in agricultural systems. But Good Heart has thought of everything. They go above and beyond to provide individualized care to animals like Lulu, a hen who needed a special sling to heal her sour crop, to make sure each one of them is safe, loved, and tucked in at night. And they don't just stop at physical care. A robust enrichment program provides the mental stimulation that animals, just like humans, need to have a rich mental and emotional life. Pigs like Mildred and Cedric enjoy puzzles, different scents to explore, and mud wallows to roll in, and snacks, plenty of snacks. Second to their impeccable resident care is an education and outreach program unmatched in the UK where they operate. Tours encourage visitors to engage with the animals through positive interaction that promote the ethos of farmed animals as sentient individuals who deserve a happy life, rather than treatment as mere products. Extensive programming for children at both the sanctuaries and in classrooms readies the next generation with good hearts. And as I watch their excellence translate into animals saved, animals loved, and hearts changed, my heart is full. And so it is with an exceedingly grateful heart that I congratulate Good Heart Sanctuary on this well-deserved achievement.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Jess. That was amazing. It's lovely to meet you.
You too.
Yeah, no, we're really, really honoured to receive this award. It means a huge amount to us and all the team as well. I'd just like to say on behalf of everyone, we want to say huge thanks to our founders, to David Walker and Diamond Jones, who set up the sanctuary. They have a passion for farmed animals. They've always seen them as the underdog, and they've translated this passion into Good Heart Animal Sanctuaries. And they've helped us secure the most beautiful sanctuary, 92 acres, which you're all invited to whenever you're over in the UK. It's obviously their belief, like I know you all share as well, that farm animals are themselves as much as dogs and horses and elephants, and that is a message that feeds through all the work that we do. We've got a great team, a very small team, but they're all completely dedicated. Our sanctuary team is led by Dave, and he's got 4 carers who work with him at the moment, and we're just getting a few more on board. They all know and love the animals as individuals, and as you said, Jess, they've all got their own individual care programs and are all spoilt rotten like they should be. And that's a message that we want to get across to people who come and visit us, that farm animals deserve this as much as any other animal. We've got, as you said, we've got an education team. We've got an education team of 1, Abby, who's doing a great job. Abby used to be an animal carer at the sanctuary as well, so she knows all the animals and cares for them, and that comes across in all the tours that she does and all the messaging that she does, which is absolutely vital. And then kind of backing all this up, we've got a fundraising team of 2 who, like all our fundraisers now in the sanctuary world, are having a tough time, but have done and are doing a really fantastic job. And I think this award is really, really going to help them with the work that they're doing on behalf of Good Heart. So thank you for that. But also, I just want to say really a huge thank you to GFAS sort of for creating this benchmark that we all need to aim for in everything from animal care to education to the way we present ourselves to the world. I remember Dave and I filling out the application form, which was, whoa, this is extensive, but it just gave us so many tips and pushed us in the right direction on so many things. It was really, really helpful. And thank you again from us all. And yeah, we're going to be telling everyone we've won this at every opportunity we've got. So yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you, Allison, and thank you to Jess for the presentation of the Farmed Animal Sanctuary Award. Thank you so much for your work, particularly in these times that can be tough financially, and we really appreciate your work for the animals, particularly in the UK. As the preponderance of our GFAS work, we often find ourselves within the United States, but what a shining star that Good Heart Animal Sanctuaries represents for the UK and for Europe. So what a wonderful example and exemplary care for the animals.
Thank you.
The next award that we will move to, I would like to introduce Jackie Bennett, who is our GFAS Program Director for Africa and Asia. Jackie oversees the program primarily for sanctuaries and wildlife rehabilitation centers in those regions. And she comes to us today, of course, with a long tenure with GFAS. She has been with us, I believe, since 2012, and with much experience, not only in nonprofit management and sanctuary organizations, but also in law. She is doing us one more big favor today. She is substituting for our beloved Kristen Leppert, who is our GFAS Program Director for Wildlife in the Americas, who is unfortunately out ill and unable to present at today's award, although I know she's watching from afar and is certainly excited to see these award presentations. So Jackie, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Valerie. And I'm honored to share Kristen's words and present this award to Three Ring Ranch. Since 1998, Three Ring Ranch, founded by Ann Goody, a wildlife rehabilitation expert, has been nestled above Kona on the Big Island of Hawaii. The private sanctuary has long served as a haven for local wildlife and exotic and domestic animals in need. Three Ring Ranch provides animal rescue, rehabilitation, and if needed, a forever home for animals throughout the Hawaiian Islands. At any given time, you'll find hawks, flamingos, reptiles, zebras, tortoises, lemurs, and a bison basking in the sun of their island refuge. Three Ring Ranch's impact can't be understated as Hawaii's only GFAS accredited and USDA licensed exotic animal sanctuary. They also hold state and federal wildlife permits that allow them to house and rehabilitate raptors and endangered species. In addition to the specialized care provided by Anne and her team of trained volunteers, Three Ring Ranch is committed to providing unique educational opportunities. Fully aware of Hawaii's fragile ecosystem, they take the opportunity to educate local children about their role and impact on the island's environment. Three Ring Ranch provides rare opportunities for kids to come on site and learn about the animals in residence through guided tours and special programs. In addition, every summer, Three Ring Ranch hosts residential pre-vet programs that have helped dozens of students go on to become veterinarians. Anne is a sought-after expert and has been published in multiple journals. She makes herself available to anyone interested in learning and encourages the sharing and collaboration of ideas that benefit animals and the humans who care for them. A highly respected community member, Three Ring Ranch works with others to better serve all animals with compassion. Through public outreach, Three Ring Ranch creates open dialogues with people using animals in entertainment, leading to the retirement of those animals and placement in sanctuary. They've also collaborated with other rescue organizations to form a life-saving network from Hawaii across the ocean to the US West Coast. Thank you, Anne and Three Ring Ranch, for your dedication to helping animals in need. Mahalo and congratulations.
I'm not sure if I'm on yet.
You are.
I can hear you, yep.
Great. Thank you so much for this award. It is very much appreciated for the recognition. We do appreciate it and we will share it. I have a couple of comments to make. Lynn touched on some very important points that are very important to us. Each animal we care for, we view as an individual, and it has its own personal and unique needs, and it deserves those needs met and nothing less. She talked about how humans were letting down the planet. When you talk about a herd of zebras, you use the term herd. Wolves are a pack. Humans are commonly referred to as a plague. Not all humans. I have to say, volunteers are heroes. They really, truly are. As a group, our daily team of passionate individuals show up early in the morning, willing to get filthy, willing to do the hard, the mundane, the routine, and sometimes the emotionally gut-wrenching tasks that it takes to give each animal here that individualized care, to give them the space they need to just be themselves. And that is tough. When a new volunteer comes, shows up at the ranch for a shadow shift, we watch their faces. We literally have to say a dozen times, don't let your brain explode. It won't. You will learn. Take the time. And the volunteers who stick with it and become part of the team, they're like gold. And it's not just the daily volunteers that we count on. It's the veterinarians who are available to us 24/7. Who else? I mean, what other human can you contact at 2 a.m. by text and say, my lemur's not feeling well? Truthfully, who would be willing to do that? But these veterinarians, these people, these experts, so many of them help us by telemedicine. They're specialists and they're across the country. And yet they're there. They answer those calls and those texts. God love them, they're our heroes. Our equine vet brings his ultrasound and he'll ultrasound a monkey or a cockatoo. And then one of the experts on the mainland reads and interprets that for him. It's fabulous what a team it takes. our board members. We've got lawyers, PR, we've got financial people. It's just wonderful who is willing to dedicate that time and expertise. And we are almost 25 years old. Come January, we're going to have that big birthday. And it's nothing like so many of these other sanctuaries that we are so grateful to be part of the family of. But 25 years, I never really thought it was going to happen. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Anne, and thank you, Jackie, for that award presentation. I was so fortunate myself earlier this summer, to get to visit Anne and meet part of her fantastic team at Three Ring Ranch and see all the terrific work that is being done on behalf of animals. And absolutely, Anne, when you say that it takes a team, it certainly takes a village to accomplish the outstanding work that you all do. You are absolutely correct and could be no more correct. So thank you for all that you do and will continue to. And we'll look forward to that 25th anniversary. We'll have to have a little bit of a party here. I'm going to bring back Jackie Bennett again for our final Outstanding Sanctuary Award, the International Sanctuary of 2022.
Thank you, Valerie. And I'm honored to present this award to GFAS accredited Global Sanctuary for Elephants. Global Sanctuary for Elephants was founded by Scott and Kat Blaze with a mission to address the growing crisis of captive elephants in South America. Scott and Kat had gained extensive sanctuary experience in the US before seeking out international opportunities to share their knowledge. And establishing Global Sanctuary for Elephants required more than expertise in elephant husbandry and other aspects of captive care. They also navigated a new culture and language with respect and openness to listening and learning from their community, local authorities, and other stakeholders. Their professionalism is especially demonstrated through the positive working relationships that they established with zoo officials throughout South America. Through their efforts, captive elephants from zoos and circuses across South America have found sanctuary. Elephant Sanctuary Brazil opened its doors in 2016 and is currently home to 6 elephants, with others who live on in memory and a waiting list of more to come. The program of care includes mental, emotional, and physical health considerations, in which any interactions with caregivers are at the direction of the elephants, who are respected as individuals and afforded choice for the first time in their lives. Global Sanctuary for Elephants website expresses what true sanctuary is for these elephants better than anything I could put into words. It explains that the combination of a more natural life, the ability to choose, compassionate care, and the companionship of other elephants encourages a journey of introspection where elephants rediscover themselves and what it means to be an elephant. Global Sanctuary for Elephants has garnered a loyal and ever-growing international base of support due to their ability to communicate their values of respect and compassion, willingness to share what they've learned, openness to others, commitment to transparency, and their complete devotion to transforming the elephant's experience in captivity. This heart-centered and visionary leadership continues to demonstrate the way forward for captive elephant care globally. We congratulate Global Sanctuary for Elephants for this well-deserved award.
Hey, Jackie and everyone, thanks so much. To say we're honored is an understatement. And I will also add before I continue, we are here in Brazil, raining like we are just beyond thrilled to be a part of this amazing group. This recognition is, again, it's humbling. I will certainly say that GFAS has made us a better organization. Kat and all her work with Kristen, when we just got accredited, which was just over a year ago now, we're probably the babies in the group as far as GFAS accredited facilities, but it definitely has elevated who we are as an organization. I would like to touch base a little bit on what Lynn Cooney said, and we see a lot of people that are fearful. And when people ask about how did you move to Brazil, how could you do it? We operate on the philosophy of instead of living in fear of failure, let's take a chance on success. And when we hold ourselves back, we hold ourselves back to sanctuaries, we hold ourselves back to individuals within life, and we also hold the animals back because of our fears of what might go wrong. And when you take that chance on success, when you take a chance on giving them something that is extraordinary, a totally different world opens up. And it really is amazing. Jackie, I think I can say for me, I almost got to choked up in tears a little bit when you said 6 elephants. We had one just passed away just a few days ago, about 15 days ago now, Pocha. But this is one of those scenarios where you take a chance on it being wonderful. Pocha and Gijimina came from the Mendoza Zoo, currently transforming to the Mendoza Eco Park. They're making tremendous strides to change their zoo to a new format and moving as many exotics as possible to sanctuaries internationally. Pocha was, Gijimina was born in the zoo through her mom Pocha. She lived in a concrete pit that is less than 400 square meters. And they lived there for all of Gijimina's life, which was 2.5 decades and more than 5 decades for Pocha. And the greatest gift that we could have had for either of them is to see them both in this environment, mom and daughter coming to sanctuary, watching mom, sorry, watching mom watch her daughter was something I'll never forget. And giving them that chance to see her daughter find something that her mom could never have provided, a life of an elephant, and having new friends come. And the way that when Pocha passed away and watching how Gijimina was just embraced by everybody else in this very familiar way, just 5 months into their life here. When we hear zoos say, or anybody that's, anti-sanctuary, they're not going to adapt, they're not going to know what to do, they won't survive transport. Sorry, bullshit. Give them a chance. They are absolutely astounding. They have adapted to a life they have that is completely unnatural. They have a resilience that we can't even begin to fathom. Give these animals a chance to show us how amazing they are, and your world will forever change, just as we have been able to help their worlds change. And a couple of you said it. We are here. Humans are important to it. We are facilitators to give them this new life, but this is their life and their space. And this is what Sanctuary exemplifies, and what GFAS stands for is let's create the best life possible for these animals in need. We're all here together. We are honored to be a part of this family. Thank you for this tremendous award. And I think that's about it. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you to Scott and Kat, and thank you to Jackie for making that presentation. Wow. Well, of course, our sympathies for the loss of your recent elephant Pocha. We certainly know that it was not for naught the trailblazing care and policies and ways that rescue has created and found forward, and so many more animals that we know will only continue to benefit from that. So thank you for all of that courageous work. And as we watch, although you are afar in Brazil, we certainly watch all of that wonderful work online and through social media, and what wonderful work it is. So certainly our hearts are with you. Thank you. So that concludes our Carole Noon and Outstanding Sanctuary Awards. I just, again, want to thank everyone for joining us today. Thank you, of course, to the GFAS board and staff, the award committee, and past award recipients for their participation in making this process happen. Of course, thank you to our GFAS supporters and donors. That generosity enables GFAS to continue our work of recognizing, supporting, and bringing together true sanctuaries. I just also want to mention that nominations for the 2023 awards will open in July of 2023. And although it seems like that's far away, it's just around the corner. So I encourage everyone to watch the GFAS website and social media for a link to submit. And with that, I will turn it back to our Operations Director, Robin Mason, to close.
Thank you, Valerie. And again, congratulations, everybody. This is always such a moving ceremony. So I'm thrilled for all of you. as I mentioned, we did record this, and early next week, I will get you all a link to the recording, so you can feel free to pass that along to anybody who'd like to view that. So again, congratulations and thank you. Everybody have a great day. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Great job.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Congratulations to all the winners.
Thank you all. It was wonderful to be a part of this, and we look forward to sharing more conversations in the near future.
Thank you. Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone. Bye.
Thank you.